Another teacher strike could be on the cards after teachers rejected the second pay offer from the Ministry of Education. The ministry offered a 3% increase on salaries each year for the next 3 years, but NZEI says that's not nearly enough, and the offer doesn't address important issues such as working conditions as well as class sizes. NZEI President Lynda Stuart says the offer doesn't address the teacher shortage, and members will meet this weekend to consider their options, including further strike action.
Our members have really characterised it by giving a resounding no to it, with their rejection of it, very clear rejection of the offer. So what are our messages from our members? That actually it's not really addressing the concerns around the growing teacher shortage. It's not addressing the concerns that they have around ensuring that they've got the time to teach and that our principals have the time to lead in our schools.
Now, if you can paint that picture a bit more specifically for us and for our listeners, because there's a sense out there that teachers have a similar working day to a student and similar holidays, and with a teacher shortage and with the pressures that they're facing at the moment, as well as workplace conditions, here's a chance for you to really paint the picture of what teachers are facing. Can you give us that picture?
So the reality for our people is that they do not work the same hours as their children. And if that was the case, then I think we'd probably have people lining up to be teachers. The reality for our teachers and our principals is that they work really, really long hours, that they are spending a lot of their time on huge workload issues. So lots of time with the planning and the preparation around providing an individualised type of program for the children in their classrooms, that for many of them they have children in their classrooms who require significant resources and are just not getting those resources to help them with their learning. And that creates an extra strain on our teachers. But also, we just don't have enough teachers. So at the moment we're hearing the stories up and down this country of teachers who are going to school when they're sick because they know that they can't get, or their principals can't get relievers for the classroom. The principals in many cases, or the assistant principals or deputy principals, or our specialist classroom teachers are having to take up those, go into those classrooms instead of the teacher if the teacher, if the teacher is just too sick to be there, and that means that their work doesn't get done. And that's the reality up and down this country.
Okay, and now we're just going to break them down into a few issues here. One, of course, is pay. 3% has been promised for someone who's entering the profession. I think that takes them, my notes here, $48,000 a year up to $53,500 a year, but that's only in 2 years' time. What sort of message do you think that sends to people considering teaching as a profession?
Well, for many of those people who are considering teaching or have considered teaching as a profession, they can actually go and get jobs elsewhere that are going to pay significant amounts more than that, and with less stress. I've had people who've been working in my own school who have made decisions to move outside teaching because they can have more time to spend with their own families in the weekends, in the evenings. Then that becomes far more desirable for them. So they can get more money, 2, they can have more time. But what I really do want to stress is that this is not just about pay. It is absolutely about also the workload that people are experiencing. So it's about people knowing that the job that they really want to do as teachers, which is to make a difference in children's lives, is what they're absolutely going to be able to do. And that's what people are saying up and down this country. And so this is totally up to our membership. Our membership have been very clear, they're very resolute, they're very determined around this, and it will be up to them what action we take.
But you will strike until you get what you want. That seems to be the message coming out today.
So doesn't necessarily have to be a strike. There are a couple of other things that are being suggested, but it will be up to the membership to have that conversation.
Lynda Stuart there from NZEI.